OldGuyTalks.com is all about being a better man. Join me on this kick-ass journey. Exclusive stuff for members only in the Old Guy Cave. Opt in now. This is Orris, the old guy from www.oldguytalks.com, talking to you about politics, Rant, April 27th, 2017. It seems like President Trump is up to it again. And could we say that the President of Canada and Mexico folded? That's right, when threatened with the potential pullout of the United States out of NAFTA, they contacted the president and said, let's talk about renegotiating that treaty. Let's talk about renegotiating. And President Trump, being gracious, says that because they are our good neighbors, we should sit down and talk to them and see if we can get a deal that works for America. Now, some in the media are saying this is a flip-flop. No, folks, it's not a flip-flop. If we can get a good trade deal, why wouldn't we have one that's good for the United States? It would benefit everyone. So that's all he says is America first. America first. Seems like Obamacare is back on the table again, and so are tax cuts, which is very exciting. I'm excited about, first of all, about Obamacare, that we're not going to have that bad bill that Paul Ryan was trying to slam down our throats. That was a bad bill, and it seems like we're going to get something a lot better, a lot closer to a true repeal and replace. Additionally, the tax breaks are going to make a big difference in the economy. I was talking with the CEO of a bank and this morning over coffee, and she thought that if we get these tax breaks, well, the economy is just going to take off like a juggernaut. And we're going to see a rise in the GDP, something that we haven't seen in the last 8 years when it's been hovering on life support at right around 1%. Life support at right about 1%. Folks, another topic, I'm getting tired of judicial overreach. It's happened again. This time it's a judge in San Francisco. Wow, what a big surprise. A judge out of San Francisco has blocked President Trump's orders on financial penalties for sanctuary cities. That's right, he's done that. This again is another thing that's going to end up in the Supreme Court. Judicial overreach is a big problem. And I'm not sure what can be done to address it other than bringing things up all the way up to the Supreme Court every time it happens. In addition, this judge, and I know we're not supposed to criticize federal judges, this judge is a political hack. He was a bundler for Obama, raising over $200,000 and personally donating over $30,000 to causes that support President Obama. In addition, he basically ruled against pro-life organizations that had on tape Planned Parenthood talking about selling baby parts. That's right, talking about selling baby parts. It's just... the facts are the facts, but the leftists in the judiciary and the media want to hide them. They want to hide the facts. It's time for President Trump to step up the rate of appointing federal judges. That's a little bit slow, and that needs to pick up. That pace needs to pick up. There's over 1,000 appointments available, and that pace needs to pick up. Another story of political correctness. I'd spoken about this last week. Female genital mutilation. That's right, female genital mutilation. It's a sick subject. Apparently, there's more of it going on in the United States than we know about. And it has been grossly underreported by the mainstream media. Where are the feminists marching in their pussy hats? It's an ugly story, and it needs to get more coverage. Speaking of coverage, the New York Times, that wimpy newspaper, is refusing to call it female genital mutilation because of cultural sensitivity. Ooh, I'm so culturally sensitive. I'm so politically correct. Don't you like me very much? And I don't care if you are out there mutilating young girls, genitalia. That is horrible. That is horrible stuff, and they refuse to call it what it is. They're calling it genital cutting. Genital cutting, because that's more culturally sensitive. That is disgusting, that is wimpy, and that just shows how duplicitous they are when it comes to female rights. That's right, they are duplicitous in that. That's just a horrible thing. We're not talking about circumcision. We're talking about the mutilation of young girls permanently mutilating them in ways that they are unimaginable and barbaric. That's the only word you can use on it, is call it barbaric. So, and lastly, well, not lastly, to that I gotta say, New York Times, screw you. That's about the nicest thing I can say to them. Now, at Notre Dame, more fallout from political correctness. A few days ago, a student at the University of Texas committed suicide because he was found guilty in one of these kangaroo courts that universities hold to try people with being accused of sexual crimes or stalking or other things like that. Kangaroo courts at the university are no place to hold these kind of trials or to have these things investigated. Rape is a serious crime and should be investigated by the authorities that have the ability to do so properly and correctly and assess the validity of these claims. And if you have things that are being put out there that are false, that only diminishes the true victims of this violent crime. So Notre Dame, there was a student who was just 3 weeks from graduating. He wasn't allowed to graduate because his ex-girlfriend accused him of stalking after they had broken up. Now, in this so-called kangaroo trial, there was no opportunity for the young man to defend himself, nor was there any questioning of some of the things that the young woman in the case had done, including sending a text saying that she wants to ruin this young man's life. She wants to ruin his social life so he'll never have one again. These kind of things are not meant to be tried in a university court with some judges that aren't really judges. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. Well, it turns out that Notre Dame is being sued, and rightfully so. And until these things are basically reviewed and investigated in a proper way, I think the university should be sued. I think there should be big penalties in the hundreds of $millions against these universities for having these kind of judicial proceedings. And it's just totally wrong. They are not qualified to do these kind of things, and this needs to stop. This needs to stop. Why would any young man want to date anyone on a college campus? I mean, holy crap! I mean, there's going to be an epidemic of masturbation occurring on college campuses if this kind of stuff continues. It's going to be very bad for male-female relationships, male-male relationships, female-female relationships, whatever you want to go, the gamut of all that stuff. But the interpersonal relationships are going to be affected by these kangaroo courts, these pseudo trials that exist, and it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. So finally, my vicious guard dog is protecting me from something. Finally, Milo, my boy Milo, is making a comeback. May 5th, Cinco de Milo, that day. Watch that date. I'll keep you posted. So, this is Orsi, the old guy from www.oldguytalks.com signing off. Remember, create a kick-ass life and speak up when you hear some nonsense from those liberal loons. Opt in and encourage other old guy assholes like you to opt in also.